100 words per minute for 8 minutes. 10 seconds more. 5 seconds. Start. The latest initiative of the government is the result of the injury caused to the Indian democracy and its individuals by the amount of corruption taking place in India. The steps being taken by the government was much needed to remove this menace to the society. This is not the first time that India has demonetized its currency. This strategy was adopted by the Reserve Bank of India in 1946 by banning the rupees 1000 and rupees 10,000 notes to deal with the unaccounted money. After demonetizing the 1000 rupees and rupees 10,000 notes, it has introduced rupees 5,000 notes in the year 1954, which was demonetized again in 1978. This initiative is going to be advantageous as the government is strictly aiming at creation of a barrier for those who have not disclosed their actual assets and are using the money which actually belongs to the citizens of India to buy properties in India and in other countries where the laws are less strict. The individuals have also been using their black money to create shell companies and carry out transactions across various institutions. This initiative of the government to attack corruption will make it hard for those in possession of black money to use it. The aim of taking out rupees 500 and rupees 1000 notes out of the circulation in the market is to reduce the amount of illegitimate money in the economy. The notes which have high value make it much easier for hoarders of black money to move them around the country. This demonetization step by the government would make it extremely difficult for the lawbreakers and the corrupted to carry out money laundering, tax evasion, and financial crime. When the high denomination notes go out of circulation, the corrupt individuals and companies will have higher risk of detection. Additionally, the business models of big companies who are committing tax fraud would be disrupted completely. The interim time period will observe numerous endeavors by those clutching undisclosed cash or black money to transform their money into legal tender. The duty of the Indian authorities and in particular bank officials is to make it simple for individuals to transform their old currency into smaller denominations. The government plans to reintroduce a new rupees 500 category note with constrained circulation. The real issue is the implementation process, which is a very difficult task. India, being one of the largest developing countries, has a very slow democratic system. Policy making is half success unless its implementation is effective. In a country where only approximately 3% of its population is paying tax, this will be a Herculean task for the government. However, the government is planning to carry out a massive operation over the next few months as millions of Indian citizens would make an attempt to exchange their old notes. The government would ensure that the citizens of India are not troubled in the process of changing their currency to the new one. This would surely give a headache to public authorities, as this could lead to increase in the burden on the public officers and could even require more employees to carry out the process related work throughout India. This step would send some clear signals to those in possession of black money that the new government won't let them sit comfortably and they can't run away from their liabilities now. The government earlier this year had given the ultimatum to those with possession of black money, and they were again given an opportunity to disclose their undisclosed assets, wherein they can keep 50% of it and the rest 50% would go to the government. Earlier this year, the government had recovered thousands of crores of black money. After this process of demonetization, the government has confirmed that it won't let corruption in any way to hamper development and progress in future. The financial inclusion scheme, an income declaration scheme, and a special investigation team aimed at cracking down on black money all show an actual attempt to crack down on the black money. This would also send out a good signal to investors who are or have been willing to invest in the Indian market for a very long time but were uncertain about the security of their investment, as they were aware of the corruption in India. This measure would certainly lead to more foreign investment, as the companies are willing to do business in economies which are least corrupt. The success of this policy as of now cannot be scaled, as it totally depends upon implementation process. But what one can be sure about is that this step would bring huge amount of undisclosed assets into picture, which could further be used by the government to fight against the main issues such as poverty and lack of good health care system.